Hey yo, what's good guys? So they're here. Today's reading is about the today's article is this media programmer rejected a 10 billion acquisition offer from Microsoft, a journey of failures to inspire the young developers. Citron had built. Let me just check the camera real quick. Lights coming good. Okay. So Citron has built several products in his life. Most of those products were flops, but one of these products bought him a 10 billion acquisition from Microsoft. He was so confident in his product that he ended up rejecting the offer. Let's find out how he built a product that is currently valued at $15 billion. Jason learned to program early in his life. Jason's father taught him programming and IT skills early in his life. So his father wanted to put his son in a position that he could earn money whenever he needed it. In high school, Jason learned to create video games, and okay, so just gonna check if what's the time. Let me show you. Time is about 10:45. Okay, how you can see that? So yeah, got it. Jason learned to create video games and web pages, and early in his life, Jason realized that he could make a lot of money using IT programming. He leveraged his skills and taught people how to use a computer. Using it, made some money. Jason's parents misjudged his programming skills. Jason used to hang out in various online programming communities. He tried to find out people who were looking for programmers and would create websites. The people used to hire him and he would create websites for them. For the first time, when he asked his parent a question, how could you accept my money from a stranger on the internet? Okay. How could you accept money from a stranger on the internet? His parents thought Jason is selling illegal substances to strangers on the internet, but as soon as he told them he was using his programming skills to make money, they trusted him and helped him to set up a PayPal account. Okay. Okay, got it. So, the higher education in Florida to learn video game design. Jason never went to prestigious university to learn something fancy. He studied video game design for-profit school based in Florida, at a for-profit school based in Florida. So higher education is an interesting part of society. When I work with people, the school they never comes up. When I work with people, the school they went to never comes up. The only thing that matters is what you can do. At the end of the day, the beauty of Silicon Valley is that if you have a great idea and you bring it to the life, you can convince a total strangers to give you money and join your project. This notion that you have to go into a great school didn't end up being a thing for me. Steve Jobs' keynote changed the Jason's world. Jason joined a startup incubator after graduation. At first, Jason's built a video-based dating site. It turned out to be a horrible idea. They shut it down the day it was released because not even a single person wanted to use it. Then he created a multiplayer game. He released the game using the Babel social network. It did pretty well, but about 10,000 people were playing with each other. He shut the game down when the Steve Jobs announced Apple's App Store. Got it. So launching the App Store was like launching a new game console. So Steve Jobs' 2008 keynote speech changed everything for Jason. Whenever a new video console is launched, that is the opportunity for a new game studio to get started. It's because there are not too many available. When a new PlayStation comes out, since it's the new system, there's only a handful of titles available. If you can launch a title, you can get a lot of distribution. Okay, everything for Jason after seeing the App Store. Apple's App Store was a new opportunity to launch video game businesses. He closed his old game after 5 months of tireless work. They released a game on App Store. The name of the game was Aurora Fiend. Let me just take a look about that. Aurora Fiend. Okay, can you find any details on that one? I don't know why it's lagging out. Just gonna okay, hold on a second. The internet is good. We'll leave it. So we think it just got loaded. Okay, I'm not sure about this. So Jason thought if they've got even 1,000 players in a week, that would be amazing. The most surprising thing that they got 1,000 players in the first hour of launch. As time passed, the game could not get the traction of Aurora's faint team expected. They failed to make money, which would allow them to keep running, and they were the only able to earn money through a cover a month of expenses, sell technology instead of video games. Jason saw that they had created all of these things like an in-game leaderboard, chat rooms, multiplayer capabilities. He thought other developers might want to use all of these technologies in their games. They decided to sell their technologies as they created for the previous games to other game makers. They called it Open Faint. Oh, great idea. Supporting other game devs. The only problem was they had no money in the bank to be able to build all of the things needed to make the technology easy to use for others. Both Jason and his partner Daniel created a web page that said something like, if you're making a video game and want to have a drop in multiplayer support, you can use our system. When they created the website, the TechCrunch covered it up and they got a couple of hundred people on their mailing list. With the help of the mailing list, they raised their seed round of funding. When they launched with like 15 video games, everything took off from there. So yeah, they raised the seed round and they launched with 15 games. Everything took off from there. Developers started to have the OpenFaint logo on the side of their app, and almost all iPhone game creators started using it. So it got to a point where the every game on the App Store started to having the OpenFaint logo on the side. It was pretty wild. It was like the whole social platform for people to play with their friends. Okay, so what was the business model like for the OpenFaint that we've discussed? Okay, let's see the Aurora fan is still not loaded up. Okay, there you go. So it is a video game series developed by the Daniel Kellesi and Jason Citron for the iOS. Faint was beginning, okay. So it was something like that, and then just got good and then bad. It just got changed to OpenFaint. Let's see if it still exists or not. Oh my, I don't know why it's lagging, right? It doesn't happen quite as much. So OpenFaint team initially thought the software would be free for any game. As the game became popular, they would ask game team to pay them money. Later they realized that it was not the right business model. Eventually they made it completely free. They failed to figure out how to make money with OpenFaint. To run a company, Jason Citron used to raise money, acquired 104 million. The number of users using OpenFaint and their employees working on it grew exponentially. In April 2011, OpenFaint company was sold to Japanese game company Gree for 104 million. Initially, Gree company agreed with Jason and his team to support them the resources and everything needed to make a great company. But 3 or 4 months later, after the acquisition, Jason realized they had two different visions for his product, so he left the company. Jason's unique vision for iPad. So that was the 2011 thing that Jason has done. Let's see what he did for the iPad. So in 2012, Jason used to think a lot about the distribution, which will help startups and stand up. At the time, the iPad user base and the market were increasing exponentially. Jason had a unique insight that the iPad may end up replacing the mobile devices. People who played games on iPad had a different type of behavior compared to the people who played games on mobile devices. In the case of the iPad, people tended to sit longer and had a deeper level of experience. He said, the idea that I had was, what if we built a gaming business that was more like traditional video games but played on tablets as opposed to some kind of mobile game that I've been doing before. Unique realization after studying in the video game business. So the idea that I had, what if we built a video gaming business that was more like traditional video games but played on tablets opposed to some kind of mobile game that I've been doing before. So unique realization after studying the video game business. After studying the gaming industry, Jason realized the companies which have been around for a longer time tend to have some kind of enduring advantage beyond a single title. A decade ago, video game companies that had been around for a long time tended to have a distribution mechanism of their own. They could easily use the distribution mechanism to buffer the time between creating successful titles. Example are Sony with its PlayStation, Microsoft with its Xbox, Valve with its Steam store. So that's why he thought of building some kind of distribution mechanism. So for that he had an idea of group of communication app for people who used to play the games. So his whole idea was to build team-based multiplayer game that had built-in text and voice chat. Okay, got it. So his whole idea to build a team-based multiplayer game that had built-in text and voice chat. Eventually, his plan was to build a communication network and use it for the release in additional game, and ultimately build a game distribution business. So, reimagining the League of Legends game, Jason and his team took one of the League of Legends game's mods and started it reimagining for a 12-inch piece of glass. They were designing the game to be played on a tablet. League of Legends was the only available in the PC mode. That's why they tried to rebuild it. They redesigned the entire game and added many native mobile experiences to their game to offer something different. So they called the company Hammer and Chisel. To build the game, they hired for total. Okay, so League of Legends game was only available in the PC mode. That's why they tried to rebuild it. They designed the entire game to add many native mobile experiences to the game to offer something different. They called the company Hammer and Chisel. To build the game, they hired like 18 people and they raised the money to build the game. It took around like 2.5 years to build that game. Oh my god. So, did the game become a hit? At 2014, it didn't get the traction the team hoped for. At first, all the critics liked the game and gave amazing reviews, but many people installed it initially. Still, the game flopped. As the time passed, it became clear to the team that gaming on iPad wasn't going to grow much, and that would mobile still be the winner. So that was where they guys failed. That was like important one. Okay. Let me just log in real fast. Stan Michel presented new idea to Jason. So that does not require bootstrap into the game. The idea. It does not require bootstrapping it with the game. The idea shared a sea of ideas. What a Discord today. This is how Discord started. The insight that he really had was to put a couple of dots together. We're seeing our customers communicating around our own game with all these different apps, and also ourselves when we're playing on a PC. We should solve the problem that rather than needing to build a new game. We should start making it on a PC. So the insight that he really was to put a couple of dots together. Okay, he see that we're seeing our customers that are communicating around our own game with all these different apps. So ourselves when we're playing on PC. So we should solve that problem rather than building a new game. So the game that they've created previously and people were using it, They were using other chatting apps and calling apps to communicate with each other. So he saw that that could be a problem because that apps are not intended and created and optimized for that problem. So he could solve instead of that problem. So that's why he thought of doing that. And this is how Discord started. Hanging out with friends online was the next big idea for Jason growing up. This is how Discord started. Oh shit. So hanging out with friends online was the next big idea. For Jason growing up, video games were the only pastime and hang out with friends. He was not a child who went played outside, but throughout his entire life, Jason had to do so many amazing memories with his best friend, his wife, and his brother playing video games. The video games themselves were not the point. Half the time they'll be talking about random things like life in general and fundamentally Discord or what feeling of play where you and your group get talk together and can hang out. It was all having your private cafe, bedroom, or living room. Discord was just built for you and your friends, first on your computer and then on your phones. It wasn't like these things were not available for the games out there. If you were playing a game, you could easily call your friends on their phones. You can have a conference call, you can put a call on speaker and communicate their way of while playing and talking to each other, talking about the chat system. Slack was also already out there. The Discord team wanted to create something that would give every player a unique experience. It was because having to coordinate between all of these at the same time, it was a huge pain. Discord gives every player all-in-one experience. The entire team's focus shifted to Discord. Okay, this all-in-one experience like chatting and calling, just all of that good. That team focus shifted to Discord. Jason decided the entire focus of the hammer and chisel will be this chat app and that they were cheating. They were creating. Jason did not want to spend any amount of time on talent on building the video game. Jason asked the entire art team to leave the company and they concentrated on creating the Discord. How Discord got the right attention. So for the first 5 months, the entire team was involved in building a game while also showing off their products with their friends and getting their feedback. By doing this, they ensured that they can continue to improve the product. As a result of doing this, some of the Discord's teammate friends started using the Discord service. At the time, everyone on the team knew it would become something, but the product was buggy at the time and the app crashed sometimes. Jason asked one of his friends who were in the gaming community to make a post on Reddit asking people what they thought of this app. In this way, Discord would be discovered by new people and they might as well try. In this way, people on the Reddit discovered Discord and like 50 people started using regularly. It was a kind of a launch for Discord, a rejection, a 10 billion takeover. Discord in recent years has grown exceptionally large. Billions of people are being sent on the platform. Discord does not track its user. They are focused on privacy, equation offer. As COVID happened, Discord user base grew exponentially. Billions of messages were sent on the platform each week. In March 21, the Microsoft offered 10 billion for Discord. Jason previously sold OpenFaint for over 104 million. But this time he believed in product and they were building so much that he ended up rejecting the offer. I was talking to some people in the team about which way we could go. The good thing was that most of the team wanted to continue building. Discord was last valued at 15 billion and it is still not profitable. On March 12, 2022, Discord raised its one more round of funding and we have a link for that note. So in 21, the company is valued at 15 bill and raised 500 mil from investors. Do you want to fast track your career as a that was the story of how the Discord got in, like if I have to sum up and give a quick conclusion on that, how it all got started. So he started learning things early in his life. He created a lot of things. He worked as a freelancer as well, earned money from them. He also teach kids programming, and after that he had created a game that was being used by people. And then he also published his game at the initial stage in the App Store that also got famous, that also been using. Then he created this game service provider which got like 100 million values, and that got acquired, and he just loved the company. Then he created something related with chat system and the app. The app failed, but the chat system was something that he could take further. He thought of taking it. Then he took it further, and then he created Discord out of it. And then he did that, and then just got successful. He just tried to solve a problem, and the problem got solved. So that was it about how the Discord was created. We'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.